Hello guys and welcome back to another video. I know that the title seems a bit strange, but yes, I'm making a new reading journal setup, but this time is for my mom. Sometimes I show her my reading journal, and since she also reads, she wanted a simpler version of my own, so here I am setting one for her. I'm going to use some products that Ohuhu kindly sent me, some oil-based color pencils, acrylic paint markers, and also some journal pens. So first I'm going to give you my honest reviews on these products, and then we're going to use them for the setup. I'm going to start with the Alawa oil-based color pencils. They come with 72 colors, a user manual, and also a color chart, so you can see all the colors at a glance and test every one of them before using. I honestly loved the color selection. I think it has a very good mix of different shades of yellow, pinks, reds, purples, blues, greens, browns, and also neutral colors. So now let's see them perform on this color chart. I know you can see, but I actually was making some pressure on the pencil and the tip didn't break, not even a scratch. And that's something that annoys me in color pencils. That's when I put some pressure on them to blend a little more and they break, so then I have to sharpen them again. And that's another thing that I was so happy about when I received them, because they already came sharpened for me. I didn't have to go through all the 72 pencils and sharpen one by one. It's also very easy to find the colors that I want because the barrel already comes with the color name and the number on them, so it's easy to use on this color chart. And also when I need one specific color, I only need to see the chart, pick the color, and I can easily identify which is the pencil that I need. The colors are very vibrant and soft when you use them. It doesn't feel scratchy the way that some pencils do. And also because they are oil based, it means they are waterproof. This pack also comes with a gold and silver pencil, which surprised me, and I really like the vibrancy of these metallic colors. The gold is not yellow, has some golden pencils tend to look like, and the silver is not grey, it has a shine to it. Here are all the colors, and as you can see they are really vibrant and so pretty. Even the darker colors look good. So now let's move on to the final test of these pencils, which is the blending. For this test I took out one of my sketchbooks where I actually used 4 pencil drawings based on anime characters. So let's start with the gradient between 2 shades of green, this yellow green and this light green. What I usually do when I blend colors is start with the lighter color, go to the darker, and then go over the 2 colors with the lighter color and do the same with the darker one. It's a bit of back and forth, but you can easily see the difference in the transition. This one came out pretty good, so now let's see the blending between three colors. I used this lighter orange, an orange and a red pencil using the same technique, so let's see how it looks. I love these pencils, the blending looks amazing, the colors are beautiful and the tip is smooth. I don't use colored pencils often, but maybe these ones will make appearances in the future. Let's make some room for the markers that I was very excited about. These are the Ohuhu acrylic markers. They come with 24 markers, a user manual as always, and also two color charts, one in black paper and the other in the typical white paper. I love that they included two colors of paper because you can see how the color changes in the two different backgrounds, so it's really helpful. And before you use them, you have to shake them because the paint inside needs to mix together. In these markers you can actually see the paint inside, but I'll show you up close in a minute. The colors are very opaque. You can see here that even the white in the black paper with only one layer, it's already very opaque. The paint flows really nicely and it doesn't separate at all. The brush tip is actually very flexible, so you can even use them for calligraphy if you want, which is something that I most likely will do in the future. And also this paint is waterproof as well and dries quite fast. One thing that I was worried about was the bleeding and the ghosting in my notebook pages, but I was worried over nothing, since they didn't bleed and didn't ghost at all. But you're going to see that when I'm actually setting up the journal. Here is the ink capacity of the marker, so you can see how much you have left. And this is before shaking. You can see that the paint is not well mixed. And here is the after shaking. The color is much better now, it's mixed, so you don't have any problems with the ink flow. I still have to show you the rest of the products, but if you are already interested, you can use my discount code JU and the journals to get 10% off your order. I'll also leave my affiliate link down below so you can check it out. With the color charts done, we can now try to do a little blending test, just to see if I wanted to do a small transition between two colors, I could do that or not. For consistency, I also used shades of green and doing the same technique, but not going over the colors totally, just the transition points, because since they are opaque, if I would go over one color with the other, it would erase the first color. But it actually worked. Of course, not very seamlessly, because they aren't really made to blend, but I think it's quite good. Now let's see the final item, and this is the Kumimi journal pens. It comes in this cute transparent pen case, perfect to take on the go, and it also comes with 24 markers. It has two tips, one is a dot tip and the other is a calligraphy brush. And I actually numbered them because these ones don't come with a color chart and they aren't color coded, so it would be better if they were, but it's a quick solution, so I'm not mad about it. I just wrote 24 numbers on sticker paper, cut them in rectangles and put them on the markers. So now I have the color reference when I need one in specific. But you also can go without it because the colors in the caps are accurate to the color on the marker itself, so it's fine. I really love a tiny calligraphy brush because sometimes in my setups I don't have a lot of space for a title, so having a smaller tip helps a lot. The dot tip is so easy to use, you can have a smaller or bigger dot depending on the pressure you put on the marker, and it's perfect for trackers or bullet points on a to-do list. And of course I'm saying that from a bullet journal point of view, but it also has many artistic ways to use them. You just have to be creative, or you can go to their website because they have tutorials in there and you can take some inspiration from them since they also work with artists. And of course, all of these products will have a link down below. Here on the left side, I'm swatching 5 colors and they are metallic, which I wasn't expecting in water-based markers, but here they are in their full glory because they are quite shiny, especially the gold and the silver. And instead of having a calligraphy brush, they have a fine tip, so it's not very flexible, but you can work with it. Now that all the swatching and testing is done, let's use these pretty markers and pencils on an actual setup. I bought this Tifosi A6 Floral dot grit notebook for my mom's reading journal. She didn't want a very big journal since she will not use it as much as I do. So, to match with her bullet journal that is also pink, I bought this one, and the cover is actually my inspiration for the entire setup. For the cover page, I used this tattoo design that I found on Pinterest as a reference for the drawing on the cover. I'm going to paint this drawing in paint markers, then I'm going to use the pencils to color the pages, and I'm going to outline the whole thing with the journal pens. But starting with the paint, I really liked the tip and how smooth the ink was flowing. I didn't have to layer the colors at all since they are already opaque enough, and I just had some fun picking some colors, especially the ones that I don't gravitate towards, but my mom does. And this journal is for my mom, so I have to think of her and not me. But it was good stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something different. You know, sometimes changing things up, it's good for your creativity, and when you go back to what you enjoy the most, you will likely be better at that. I'm focusing more on the paint markers because I never try them out from any brand, and if you saw any of my previous videos, you know that I use Ohuhu markers all the time, be them alcohol markers or water-based markers, but I really loved the brand before, so I really wanted to try these paint markers. And I was not disappointed because they actually surpassed my expectations. Doing the shading was so much fun because the tip made it easier to go into tiny places, and if I made a mistake, I could just cover it with another color. I was not aiming for a realistic drawing, I was just doing this technique that is pretty much just defining the shadows and not blend them. It's a technique that is used pretty often in mangas or anime, and it's perfect for this type of drawing and medium. While I was using the pencil in the last book, it came up a little bit pink, but I don't know if it was because of the pencil or if I picked up some paint on the way, but nevertheless it looks good even with a little bit of pink in there. Then I started to use the journal pens, and it was a little bit of an experiment in the beginning because I wasn't sure if it would work on top of the paint, but it worked quite well, so I used them for the outlines and some shading. To bring a little pop of gold details onto the drawing, I used the gold from the journal pens to put a little dot on the center of each flower, and I used the fine tip to draw some sparkles. On the left page, I'm doing a border similar to the one on the cover of the journal, and I messed it up on the top, so it was the perfect time to try out the white paint marker. This time it took a few more layers to cover it up, and you can still kinda see the pink behind it, but it still hides it enough. With the calligraphy brush, I wrote the title, which is going to be my reading journal, and I used the gold for the first and last word and the pink for the middle. Let's move on to the next spread. That's going to be the key and the year it started. This journal is going to last more than 1 year, since my mom doesn't write reviews or anything like that, so it's going to be just a basic log of all the books she reads during the year and some trackers like the series or authors, and a few empty spreads so that she can write some notes about the books if she wants. Of course, I showed her my reading journal and how I use each tracker and challenge and so on and so forth, so that she could see what she liked and what she wanted in her own journal. For the key, I used the same one I do, but just wrote it in Portuguese. So 5 stars means loved it, a new favorite. 4 stars is really like this book, I recommend it. 3 stars is it's fine, could be better. 2 stars is I didn't like it very much. And 1 star is hated it, probably didn't finish. Of course, my rating system has a spice rating as well, but my mom doesn't read the books I read. She's more into cute romance, historical, and crime, and I'm much more of a dark romance reader. Next is going to be a series tracker. My mom likes to read all the books from an author instead of reading duologies, trilogies, or series, but in here it's a pretty open space, so if she wants to track authors, she can. If she wants to track any series, she can as well. I started by writing the title with a journal pen, and next to it I just drew some flowers and foliage, and on the bottom of the spread I did a minimal version of the border with the paint marker. To give an example, she is currently reading the books from the author Leslie Wolfe, and I think she read much more than just 5, but then she can update if she wants. I use the dot tip to represent each book, and then my mom can put a little sign in each dot when she finishes a book. I'm going to leave another empty spread before the next so that she can grow her series tracker if she needs, and in this one it's the books read in 2025. In here she's going to put the cover of each book that she reads throughout the year. It's the same size I use for mine, so I just have to put the cover on the template, print it, and stick it to the paper. My mom doesn't review and doesn't rate the books she reads, so it's up to her if she wants me to put the star rating below each book or not. Since I don't know how many books she's going to read this year, I'll leave 3 empty spreads for that. Next is the wish list. My mom is a mood reader. She can have 5 books, but right now she doesn't want to read any of them. So here is a space where she can write books she wants to buy. And when she doesn't know what she wants to read next, she can go to this spread and see if she wants any of them. The next page is the last one, and it's going to have only the title because it's the review space. It's empty because, as I said before, my mom doesn't review books, so by leaving it empty, she can write whatever she wants with the space she wants, if she wants. And I chose the title Notes instead of Reviews to keep it pressure free. It's time for the final flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give a like and subscribe. The video is long because of the reviews, but the actual setup was pretty fast and simple. So tell me in the comments if you have a reading journal, if you like to go all out like I do on my own, or if you like it more compact and simple like this. Again, don't forget to check out the products from Ohuhu, and if anything catch your eye, you can use my code to get yourself a sweet discount. This video was a little bonus on this week, but don't worry, the second April plan with me it's coming out next Friday as usual. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!